Transmission repair and maintenance. Transmission repair and maintenance are crucial for ensuring that vehicles operate smoothly and reliably. Proper fluid checks, changes, and the ability to rebuild or replace internal transmission components are essential skills for anyone in the automotive repair industry. This lesson will provide you with the knowledge and skills needed to perform fluid checks and changes, and rebuild or replace internal transmission components. Mastering these skills will prepare you for both the ASE certification test and real-world transmission repair tasks. Performing fluid checks and changes. Transmission fluid is essential for the operation of the transmission system, providing both lubrication and hydraulic pressure. Regular fluid checks and changes help prevent transmission failure and ensure smooth operation. Importance of transmission fluid. Lubrication reduces friction between moving components such as gears, bearings, and the torque converter, preventing wear and damage. Hydraulic pressure. Transmission fluid provides the hydraulic pressure necessary to operate the clutch packs, solenoids, and other components within the transmission. Cooling helps dissipate the heat generated by the transmission during operation. Checking transmission fluid levels. Warm the vehicle. Start the vehicle and allow it to reach operating temperature. This ensures that the fluid is at the correct level and temperature. Locate the dipstick. Most automatic transmissions have a dipstick for checking the fluid level. It is typically located near the engine or under the vehicle. Check fluid level. Remove the dipstick, wipe it clean, and reinsert it fully. Remove it again to check the fluid level. The fluid level should be within the full range marked on the dipstick. Tip: if the level is low, add the manufacturer recommended fluid to the correct level. Inspecting transmission fluid condition. Color. Healthy transmission fluid is typically red or pink. If the fluid is dark brown or black, it may be burnt, which could indicate overheating or contamination. Smell. Burnt fluid has a distinct burnt smell. If the fluid smells burnt, it may indicate problems with the transmission. Texture. Check for any particles or debris in the fluid. If the fluid feels gritty, it could be a sign of internal wear in the transmission. Changing transmission fluid. Changing the transmission fluid involves draining the old fluid, replacing the filter, and refilling with fresh fluid. Prepare the vehicle. Raise the vehicle using a lift or jack stands to access the transmission pan. Place a catch pan under the transmission pan to collect the old fluid. Drain the old fluid. Loosen the bolts on the transmission pan and carefully remove it. Let the fluid drain completely into the pan. Tip: some vehicles may have a drain plug on the transmission pan for easier fluid removal. Replace the filter. Most transmissions have a filter that helps catch contaminants. Remove and replace the filter according to the manufacturer's instructions. Install the pan and add new fluid. Replace the pan with a new gasket, ensuring that it's properly secured. Refill the transmission with the recommended fluid type and quantity, checking the level using the dipstick. Rebuilding and replacing internal transmission components. Over time, internal transmission components can wear out, leading to poor performance or complete failure. Rebuilding or replacing these components is a more advanced maintenance procedure that requires careful attention to detail. Common internal transmission components. Valve body. The valve body regulates the flow of transmission fluid to different components, such as the clutch packs. It acts as the brain of the transmission, controlling fluid direction and pressure. Clutch packs. These are made up of multiple friction discs and steel plates that engage or disengage gears as needed. Planetary gear set. The planetary gear set provides different gear ratios and is the core component of the transmission's gear shifting ability. Torque converter. The torque converter transfers power from the engine to the transmission using fluid. It is a critical component for automatic transmission operation. Removing the transmission. Before repairing internal transmission components, the transmission must be removed from the vehicle. This requires the following steps. Prepare the vehicle. Raise the vehicle using a lift or jack stands and secure it safely. Disconnect the battery and drain all fluids to avoid spills. Disconnect the transmission. Remove the drive shaft, exhaust components, and any electrical connections attached to the transmission. Disconnect the transmission from the engine by removing the bolts that connect the transmission bell housing to the engine block. Support the transmission. Use a transmission jack or hoist to support the weight of the transmission while you remove it from the vehicle. Remove the transmission. Carefully lift the transmission from the vehicle, ensuring that it is balanced and secure during the process. Disassembling the transmission. Once the transmission is removed, it's time to disassemble it for inspection and repair. Remove the transmission pan. Drain any remaining fluid and remove the transmission pan to access the internal components. Inspect the valve body. The valve body contains several passages and solenoids. Check for clogs, wear, or damage. If the valve body is faulty, it may need to be replaced or cleaned. Inspect the clutch packs. Remove the clutch packs and inspect the friction discs and steel plates for wear or damage. Replace any worn parts. Examine the planetary gear set. Check the planetary gears for excessive wear or damage. If any gears are worn or chipped, they must be replaced. Rebuilding the transmission. Rebuilding involves replacing worn components and reassembling the transmission to restore its functionality. Clean all components. Thoroughly clean all components, including the valve body, planetary gear set, and clutch packs, using appropriate cleaning solutions and brushes. Replace worn parts. Replace any worn or damaged parts, including seals, gaskets, clutch discs, and bearings. Ensure that all parts meet the manufacturer's specifications. Reassemble the transmission. Begin reassembling the transmission in the reverse order of disassembly. Be sure to follow manufacturer guidelines for torque specifications and part placement. Test the rebuilt transmission. Once the transmission is reassembled, test it before reinstalling it in the vehicle. Check for proper fluid flow, gear engagement, and smooth shifting. Conclusion and recap. In this lesson, we covered the essential aspects of transmission repair and maintenance, including performing fluid checks and changes, and the process of rebuilding and replacing internal transmission components. Mastery of these tasks is vital for anyone preparing for the ASE certification test and is essential for successful transmission repair in real-world applications.